Last FM, your number one radio station.
Hello and welcome to the Overview Show. This is yet another special Thursday evening for us here at the studio. The time is 6 p.m. West African time. Wherever you're tuning in from, I'm sure the Christmas fever is still in the air. This is a season of love and indeed is one for me. And I want to specially thank you all for the love you've been showing me. You've been sending, the ones I've been receiving. Thank you for your checkups. Thank you for your support. Ever since my phone got snatched, thank you for always reaching out and always trying to engage yourself in that conversation. It's another Thursday and we are here for you with a special Thursday episode. And I'm not here alone, of course. You get plenty things I will tell you, but I'll say it at the end of the show.
Okay, good evening, listener. I'm Rejoice Ondinanmini, and I'll be the co-host for today's Overview edition.
All right, Rejoice, what do we have for the overview today?
Okay, on today's edition of Overview, I beg your pardon, we'll be talking about domestic violence. And I have a story with me here. It says, my husband drugs me every night before raping my niece, wife of a Lagos doctor, Femi Olaleye, tells court. Mrs. Olaleye told the court that her husband gave her junior aspirin and phenyrigan and then sleeps with her niece every night. The wife of the popular doctor, Femi Olaleye, who was accused of defiling her niece, has told the court how he allegedly gave her sleeping pills at night so he could be free to carry out the act. The doctor's wife, Aderemi Falaye, spoke before the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court in Ikeja, Lagos State on Monday, 19th December 2022. Recall that Dr. Olaleye is facing a 2-count charge of defilement of a child and also sexual assault by penetration. Olaleye was accused of defiling the minor who was living with him and his wife at their home in Lagos State after her father passed away. He was arraigned before an Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court on Wednesday, November 30th. He, however, pleaded not guilty to the 2-count charge and was granted a bail of 50 million naira. Dr. Falaye, he, however, pleaded not guilty, so he was granted a bail of 50 million naira with 2 sureties in the same amount. The witness and the defendant have been married for 11 years with 2 children together. Mrs. Olaleye told the court that her husband, Mr. Olaleye, always gives her aspirin. She said, "My lord, Femi, most nights gives me a small tablet. When I looked at this incident, I wept. How was this incident going on in my home and I didn't know? Femi gives me medication every night and he claims that it is junior aspirin that will avert blood clots because I'm turning 50 years old. My lord, maybe a medical examination should be conducted on me. I want to believe that I slept my way through all these atrocities. Sometimes he gives me phenyrigan. He will say I work so hard that the phenyrigan will help me relax my nerves. And then he proceeds to sleep with my niece." She said. The niece, whose name was withheld, came live with the family in December 2009 when she was 15 years old, after her guardian, who was also Mrs. Olaleye's mother, died. According to the witness, her husband raped her niece from March 2020 to November 2021 at their Maryland residence in Lagos. Femi has been sexually abusing her. He introduced her to pornography and other sexual atrocities which she was not supposed to have known at an early age. The pornography graduated to oral sex, she said. She also explained how during oral sex he released in her mouth. She further said that after she must have slept, he goes out of their bedroom around 2 a.m. to rape the girl, almost on a daily basis in areas where the cameras do not cover. Mrs. Olaleye said her niece confessed to her aunt that he allegedly had anal sex with her, and in this study, he threatened her that if she revealed it to anyone, he will kill her, his wife and children. While responding to the questions from a state lawyer, Babatunde Martins, Mrs. Falaye said the matter came to the fore when her children's nanny reported to her that her niece had been rude. When I called her, she gave a long hiss. I disciplined her and told her to be respectful and peaceful, she said. When my husband came back from work and his children told him what transpired, he went into her room to pacify her. I told him that we ought to bring her together. Instead, he yelled at me and said that the worst thing I could say was that he was sleeping with her, she added. She told the court that Mr. Olaleye took the survivor to her aunt's house. At my aunt's house, my aunt told him that what happened was not enough to bring the victim to her house. She added, after he left the victim in my aunt's house, my aunt, who is a retired school principal and psychologist, asked the victim what happened and she confessed to her. My aunt called and told me what happened and said I should not tell Femi about it so that he won't hurt me. The mother of two said when her niece confessed in her presence, she immediately went to Anthony Police Division to report the matter. Days later, Olaleye was arrested, she said. Mrs. Olaleye told the court that after her husband's arrest, the divisional police officer DPO called her. During the meeting with the DPO and his lawyer, he broke down in tears and confessed that he had sex while being visually recorded by the police. She said he signed an undertaking to stay away from her and the children, saying, I don't want him around my children and home. I told his lawyer that if he could sleep with my niece that calls him daddy, he could sleep with her daughter also. She told the court that after signing an undertaking, he sent apologetic WhatsApp messages and emails that it was the work of the devil. She explained to the court that in December 2021, her husband checked into Grace Cottage Clinic, a rehabilitation center in the Ilupeju area of the state. She said the psychologist, Juan Ogunubi, called her that her husband is suffering from sex addiction. She told the court that the psychologist told her that if he isn't properly taken care of, the worst could happen, and her own child can also be a victim. Amidst tears, she said when one inspector, Esther, came to their residence for a one-site investigation, her daughter told the inspector that she had seen her father undressing her niece. When asked, she reported her husband to the police. She described what he did as evil. I was raised to be a strong and confident woman, she told the court. I have a girl child. If this evil is not stopped, it will continue, she said. Shortly after Mrs. Olaleye's testimony, the family driver Wahid Yusuf was called to testify as the second witness. Earlier in the testimony, Mrs. Olaleyi said that her driver, Mr. Wahid Yusuf, gave his testimony that he saw the niece vomiting sperm in their compound. Mr. Yusuf was called to the witness box but was later disqualified. He was in court when Mrs. Olaleyi spoke. That's the story we have on today's edition of Overview. It's a sad one.
Crazy things are happening.
And sad.
Crazy things are happening, and then we took our time to read out this story for you so that you can have a better understanding of the discussions we're about to take. The question I want to pose is: the doctors that are supposed to know, that supposedly are supposed to know the implications of these things, are now the ones carrying the actions. Should we now fear that the saviors are now becoming the oppressors? We'd like to get your view about this conversation. You can join the overview chat. You can comment on our comment box. Join the conversation in the best way that you can. We will try our possible best to give you a very in-depth breakdown of these things. But I think we should go on a short commercial break. When we come back from this break, we'll go into the full gist proper.
We'll take the full gist proper.
See you after this break.
I want to dance for Jesus. I want to grace for Jesus. Hey, thank God, God no be man. God no be man.
Are you looking for the best place to display your goods and services? Are you looking for how to take your business to the next level? Then let's be your plug. For sponsorship or advertisement, please call +234 3110 1001 or +234 81 288 03452. Glass FM, your #1 radio station.
You are Odogu, Odogu, Odogu. You are Odogu.
Glass FM, your #1 radio station.
You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen, I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS.
Another hits jam from WebLoaded.com.
I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter, I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you. I hear the whisper underneath your breath. I hear you whisper, you find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you.
Okay, welcome back from that commercial break.
Trust me, from this tiring, very, very tiring story, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say.
We actually had to take the story in detail so that you could know what it entails, like the full, how it started and how it ended.
But you know, one thing I would commend this woman and the girl for is their will to really go out and speak. That is what we have been advocating for.
Yeah,
Instead
you
of
should be able
keeping
to
quiet
speak
to
up.
these things, speak up. I think the last time we talked about this human trafficking and other
Yeah.
things, we gave out some lines, some directions to where you can channel
Yeah, you
these
should be able
problems
to
to.
speak to someone you trust, like someone you can confide in, mostly someone way older than you that you feel safe to
Yes.
share your story with.
And I think the woman did a very wonderful job for taking it to the court. Now they are going through, even though the guy
she
is.
did a good thing by not taking the law into her hands. Because
She had to
if
take it to the
was
appropriate
somewhere,
channel.
She would have just gone ahead to like stab the man out of
anger
rage.
and such. But
and
thank you
such.
very much for being able
For
to
taking
control
it
your
calmly.
temper and then taking it like that. I'm
Kudos
sure
to
that
you
the
for that.
law will do their possible
the Lord
best
is going to
in
intervene.
getting justice. For the lady, I'm sure that you have gone through a whole lot of trauma.
We sympathize with
we
you.
sympathize with
It's
you
actually not
deeply.
easy for you to pass through
Those
these
things from your
from
uncle,
somebody
and
you
especially
actually
the woman.
call daddy.
Yeah, thank you. The
actually
woman
call
was
him
saying
daddy.
she calls him daddy,
He's
and
just
then
like a father to her, and
was
he
so
went
sad.
ahead to do
It's so
this
sad.
to her. It's
It's so
actually
sad,
very
and we
sad.
really do
and
sympathize with you.
disheartening.
We sympathize with you, and then this is a warning to you out there, ladies. Those of you that might be going through under these things in silence, before it gets worse, please do
Speak
open
up.
up, speak up. You see, she did, and then there's at least a step for her. Justice will be.
Actually, we find out that they always threaten them that they are going to kill them. He threatened her that he was going to kill her. Please,
Exactly.
and please, just you could report it to a police station
Or anybody.
some NGOs that will be able to fight. Fight
And there's a
your
whole lot
rights,
of them.
for your
There's a
rights.
whole lot of
Yes,
them.
a whole
We
lot
are
of them.
definitely one of those people that you can
could
reach out
us
to.
with
We want to thank everybody.
channels in which you could communicate.
Yes.
to be
I
able
want to thank
save
everybody that
yourself
have
from the mess.
that took their time to really reach out, because after the first show, few people reached out to
Yeah.
open up to their stories. I want to assure you that we are trying our possible best to see that we get a good and
because
lasting
we are here
solution for
because
you.
of you.
It's definitely for you, to be a friend to you. It's what I have promised. It's
Yeah.
what we have promised, and then we are just
trying
here
to
make the
a
difference.
to change
Exactly.
some certain things that have been reoccurring over time.
Yes.
Please try and speak up, my brother, my sister, my uncles, my aunties, everybody facing this type of challenges. Please and please speak up.
Do speak up,
It
please.
will do you a whole big good to speak up.
Of course. And it has been a great time with you here,
it has been a
Rejoice.
great time
Always
with you.
it's special when we talk to these people, and I feel more special when I know that you're out there listening to all this energy we've been putting into producing these shows. And thank you for always your feedback. I can't just thank you enough. Remember, we have been telling you this, I think since Christmas, right?
Yeah.
That we are on Spotify, and we still want to ring it to you this Thursday that yes, we are on Spotify. Those shows that you cannot reach out, you can meet them up on Spotify. And then on TikTok, we are on YouTube, and of course
On
read the.
Instagram. You could catch us at Facebook at Glass FM. You could also get us at Instagram at Glass FM Radio Station, at Twitter at Glass_FM. You could also email us at glassfm.tv@gmail.com. You could also reach our phone lines on +234 812 880 3452. I call it again, +234 812 880 3452.
And don't forget that the Overview Show is a show that talks about serious problems affecting us in the society, within and outside of this country. We want to thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you've been doing. Remember that you can do business with us. Of course, we are open for adverts, placements. You can advertise your business, whatever idea it is that you want to sell, that you think it's worthy to sell to the world. Class FM is here to make the difference for you. And we, the OAPs, have nothing but good love and energy when it comes to giving you a quality education and entertainment.
Do make sure you stay safe and stay out of trouble.
Please do.
I'm your girl, Sunday Nani Rejoice. I'm signing out for now.
And yes, your radio royalty. Yeah, that's the good news I said I wanted to share. For those of you that made it to my coronization, thank you very much. I am now the new Prince of the Streets.
Prince of Peace.
The radio royalty. I carry a whole lot of royalty in me. And I want to thank you all for the love from USA, the love from Uganda, the love from Nigeria. Your love is just unending. And sorry for the countries I cannot mention. But thank you. Keep sending those love. And I'll continue to mention
And we're
them.
here to serve you better.
Yes.
Better and better.
On behalf of the Overview team, and I almost forgot. Nero sent her apologies. Nero couldn't be here today. Unavoidably absent.
She's sincerely sorry and she apologizes for that.
So sorry we miss you, Nero. We miss you. If you're listening to this show, I'm sure you're even listening to this show, and you can truly engage with her. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of this show till this hour. It breaks our heart to say goodbye.
Bye.
But this is the small
Breaks
time
our
we
heart.
can afford.
Bye.
And thank you for choosing to stay it with us. Love you. Bye.
One love.
Peace.
Last FM, your #1 radio station.